Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Gulpane, just back with a very quick video response. And this one I'm video responding to Sega Blocks. So he done a video a while ago, and it was an awesome video because there was a load of like other YouTubers involved in it as well. So he got like everyone to kind of say what they thought. The video was called "What is an RPG?" So he got like a load of people to kind of tell their stories on like what an RPG is, and it was a really entertaining video. So I totally encourage you to go watch the video. It's like a collaborative effort, which I thought was lovely, and I was like, I really enjoyed watching it because a lot of the people in it, I'm subscribed to them as well, and some people I wasn't, obviously, but yeah, it was great to see them and stuff. So yeah, so I'm just going to do a quick video response to that. Let's have a look. So like, what is an RPG? So for me, there's like a few, well, obviously I love JRPGs, not obviously, newsflash, I love JRPGs. That's my like go-to kind of style of game. So I try and like buy them if I can, and then like play them whenever I want. So when I say JRPG, I mean like Final Fantasy, like turn-based, sort of like, you can save the world or you don't have to save the world, but you know, there's some sort of story in it. And you take a turn and then you input your, you know, it's menu based, you input your commands, and then the enemy has their turn, and then basically you know, you start a fight then. Not like the new Final Fantasy game where it's more like action RPG. I don't really like that. So my consideration of what an RPG is that it's a JRPG, where you take control of a character, and you know, there's other party members. You can switch between the party members if you want as well, but it's like Final Fantasy, Breath of Fire, Chrono Trigger, that sort of style. There's different, obviously, like, you know, you don't have to, when you're going like in an area and then you stop and you go to a different screen, you don't have to do that necessarily for it to be like a JRPG. You can stay in the screen like Chrono Trigger does, or you can like go to a different screen like Final Fantasy 7 does, original Final Fantasy 7. And there's all like, you know, menus, and you buy new weapons and you buy magic, or you have magic and you level up stuff. I think that's what a JRPG is to me. There's other types of RPG then. So like a big one is the strategy RPG. So the strategy RPG is similar to JRPG, except it's more of a grand scale, because there's like, normally the strategy RPGs, there's like a little bit of story, and then there's like the board, and then you place your characters on the board and you have to move them around the board, and then you take a turn and then the enemy takes a turn. It's like a big game of chess, but obviously there's like, you know, there's leveling up and all that. Final Fantasy Tactics, again, going back to Final Fantasy, because those are sort of like the go-to RPG kind of style. Final Fantasy Tactics, or Vandal Hearts, Joan d'Arc, are a few that spring to mind there for the tactics, the sort of the RPG tactical games. Then you've got the action RPG then, and there's loads of different types of action RPG, from like Kingdom Hearts, which is sort of like a third person, like 3D action RPG, to like Ys, which is like a, you know, like some of the Ys games, you're just like on a plane, like a 2D plane, and you're going left and right. Zelda is kind of, I don't know if you call Zelda an action RPG or just an action adventure game, but I think a lot of people class Zelda as a kind of an action RPG as well. I wouldn't really class Zelda as an action RPG, because you're not really leveling up. Well, you are kind of, actually, because your health is leveling up, but you don't really have like a level or statistics. Well, you do kind of a bit, actually. So maybe some of the Zelda games are action RPGs, but like Ys is an action RPG, or like Ys is a good one because you don't stop, like say like Memories of Celceta, or the Arc of Naphatism, or however you pronounce that one. But that one there, you don't stop. You keep going around like the map, and you just keep attacking, and you can upgrade your character and get more weapons and stuff, and different abilities and all that. So that's a good example of an action RPG. And then like the Tales games are action RPGs as well, but they do it in a different style, because you run around the map or the area, like you go into a town and you talk to people and you get party members and all that. But every time with some of the Tales games, because Tales of Zilla, you actually don't stop, you keep going, I think, anyway. But in some of the Tales games I played, you stop and you go to a different area, and then you have a fight there, but it's very much like you press buttons to attack. You don't just like select attacks. Although some of the Ys games you can like select like predetermined, I think anyway, you can select like predetermined moves your characters to do, and they just kind of automatically do it. I think so anyway. I might be getting mixed up with a different game. But the action RPG anyway, you have to input the commands manually. There are some like JRPGs where you have to do like Street Fighter kind of controls, like down to forward punch and all that. Legaia 1 and Legaia Dual Saga, those are like a little different, but I'd still put them as the JRPG, where like you're going around towns and you're buying weapons and you stop. So they're kind of still JRPGs, where you're kind of doing a bit more with it. Then there's like the Western RPG, which is kind of, there's a few different types of Western RPG. One of them is like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, that kind of style where it's very heavily story based, but the emphasis is placed on like making decisions and like doing different like character dialogues and stuff. So that's an interesting one. And then obviously Dragon Age, then similarly, you know, you can upgrade weapons and get different party members and all that. So it's kind of like a JRPG, but you don't stop when you attack. Some of the like Mass Effect, like the battle system's like a cover shooter in some of them, which is excellent. So then you're sort of like the Western RPG is different than the JRPG, I think. The Western RPG is like The Witcher. That'd be like an action JRPG, or sorry, an action Western RPG. And whereas like Mass Effect, Dragon Age, or there's some others I haven't played yet, but those are sort of like Fallout 4 is a Western action RPG, I think, or Skyrim is a Western action RPG. So those ones, that's a completely different genre, I think, than the JRPG or the strategy RPG, or even like the traditional action RPG as well. So that's a few different types. I can't think of any more now offhand. You got the JRPG, the strategy RPG, the action RPG, the traditional one. Then you got the Western RPG, and then you got the Western kind of, I don't know what you call it, like I just call it Western because most of the games are made in the West, but they're probably not, they're probably actually made in Japan, just like with Western stuff. Yeah, like The Witcher and all that. Then there's like Fallout 4 and Skyrim. I haven't played the other Fallout games, so I don't know, but those are sort of different ones as well. Then you got like the computer, like the DOS or whatever, you know, like the computer RPG as well, which is like a Vampire the Masquerade. Those ones which are like, they're on PC, they're well, like the old-fashioned ones. Vampire the Masquerade is like a sort of a newer one, but there's like a PC kind of RPG as well, which I don't really have much experience with. Not like a point-and-click game, but a game where you like you level up a character and all that, but it just has like a different style. I think it's like, those ones are kind of the early Western RPGs I described a while ago, where like it's Mass Effect or it's The Witcher, or those ones where it's like, it's very like choice driven, but it was more like menu based back in the olden days, where you had to like select things from menus and stuff, whereas now it's like you control the character and the character sort of does everything. There is like obviously menus when you like, you know, when you press pause and stuff, you have like, you know, you have your map and you have your character kind of progression trees and your inventory and all that. But I think the early, I need to do a bit more research into it, but I think the early kind of PC RPG is one as well. So that's a few different types of RPG. So let me know if I missed any out. I probably like missed like an obvious one that I can't think of right now. But well, I suppose there's like the one kind of one that's in its own genre is oh, what's it called? It's the one where you play football on the DS, and it's on the Wii as well. I can't remember what it's called. I'll write it here below. But that's another style as well. And then of course you got the Metroidvania games, which they're RPGs as well, but you couldn't class them the same as a JRPG or a Western RPG. Those are like completely different. Those are its own sort of genre. I know some of them, the Metroidvania games, you don't level up, so you know you wouldn't really call it an RPG, but I don't know, like Castlevania Symphony of Night, that's an RPG to me, like all day, like, so it's like an action RPG, but you're going around a big maze, so that's like a different sort of style. But anyway, let me know if I missed any out. Actually, no, I did. There is one I missed out. It's the very old style where it's a first-person view. It's like Etrian Odyssey or Shining in the Darkness, that sort of style as well. The very, very kind of old one. I think those are gone now. It's a first-person view, and you go around like different, you know, maps and stuff, and you go on different dungeons in a first-person view, and then you stop and attack. So that one there is another one. And now I'm thinking about it, Ultima and you know, the very early ones. Those are the ones I was trying to talk about a few minutes ago, the DOS ones. Like the ones, DOS isn't the correct term either, apologies. But yeah, the really early, like Ultima, Lord British, and Adventure on Atari, those are like the very early RPGs. So like, in comparison to the later RPGs, those ones are kind of like, I don't know if you can call them RPGs, they're more like based on the tabletop Dungeons and Dragons RPG kind of style, but I don't know, I'm sure I've missed a couple of RPG styles out. So let me know in the comment section below which ones I missed. And if you want to do a video response to this, don't forget to tag Sega Blocks in it as well, so he'll know that it's a video response to his original video. Don't be taking the credit from Sega Blocks. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.